câmera, som, pessoal, quando quiser.
Oi gente, sou Felipe Germano, sou aqui da Super e hoje eu vou bater um papo com James Gunn, que é o diretor de Guardiões da Galáxia 1 e 2. James, thanks very much for having me here.
Hey, I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to be here. You know, just outside, there are thousands and thousands of people waiting over there, and I keep hearing them scream, so I'm getting very excited.
The first movie surprised a lot of people because it was unexpected success.
Yeah.
But now there's a huge hype around this. How you react about this?
It's exciting. I mean, it feels really good. In my whole life, I like telling stories. I like making up characters and writing dialogue, and to be able to do it and do something as honestly as we did with the first Guardians, with people that I like as much as I like all the people I worked with on that movie, both the cast and the crew, and then to have people, just embrace it so warmly and to fall in love with it as much as we loved it is amazing. So it's very it's exciting.
You had said that we will not have an Infinite Stone in the second movie, but will you have any kind of direct connection with the rest of MCU?
No. Right now the Guardians are their own little thing. I mean, we had the first movie. This movie takes place 2 months after the first movie. They are off and dealing with the cosmic side of the universe. They don't really know or think about Earth. I mean, Quill probably does because he doesn't want to go back, but the rest of them don't. And so they're in their own little pocket of the universe right now.
You direct the next 4 cameos of Stan Lee, right? How was that?
Stan Lee is the best. I mean, when I first met Stan Lee, which was about 10 years ago now, I was like a little girl at a Beatles concert. I was like, like about to cry, very nervous because I grew up loving Stan Lee. So to be able to work with Stan Lee and put these movies together and get a performance out of Stan Lee, which is not as easy as it sometimes appears, is a lot of fun, And he really is just the greatest guy. If I could be anything like him, and to even be alive at 92, but to be as vibrant and fun and funny as Stan Lee is, would be my greatest, my greatest wish. He really is my hero.
The soundtrack of the first movie is just incredible. What can you say about the second soundtrack?
The second soundtrack is, great. I think it's a more diverse soundtrack. I think the first soundtrack were a bunch of songs that maybe you heard, but you didn't know the name of the song, you didn't know the name of the singer. In this one, we have some really incredibly famous songs, and then some songs that people have never heard. So it's a much, more diverse soundtrack.
And now we all know that Humans became a TV show. Have you been part of any kind of conversations in Marvel about how this will integrate the rest of the MCU?
Right now, no. I mean, I don't think so. It's probably not. The TV side they don't talk to us, so we don't know what's going on with TV. We have no clue. They kind of do what they want to do.
And there's a character in this movie, there's a planet. Did you read or do any kind of research about planets to build this character?
Any type of planet research? I'm sure I did actually. Now that you asked me, I did, but I didn't think of it quite like that. I always do research. I mean, I'm always like having to figure out something, where does the atmosphere of the world end? At what point? What happens if you go through that bit of atmosphere, et cetera, et cetera. So I did have to deal with some of Ego's atmosphere, yeah.
And there's any kind of plan to insert a Nova in the Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think Nova's a great character. I think he could definitely show up at some point in the future. It will not be in Guardians 2, but at some point, yeah.
Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks.